Thank you. I'm delighted to be here with you today as part of our partnership with King's Business School. It is very apt that we should be meeting at Bush House. As some of you may know, this building was originally a trade center built by U.S. businessmen in the 1920s to foster British-American business cooperation. That's an ambition that I share wholeheartedly. More famously, it was the home of the BBC World Service between 1940 and 2012, and a symbol of the UK's global outlook and the near universal reach of British soft power. Today, of course, the world looks very different to when this building was first opened. In the 1920s, the UK was a global leader in manufacturing as the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. But in the century that followed, new manufacturing-led economies have flourished around the world. For the UK, that meant a dramatic change in its economy, with the services industry growing significantly and manufacturing becoming a relatively smaller contributor to GDP. Today, manufacturing only accounts for 21% of UK gross domestic product, while service companies comprise some 79%. As the CEO of one of the UK's largest service providers, the growth of the service sector has benefited Barclays. And as we complete our current restructuring, I'm pleased that our business is well positioned for the future. But as a resident of the UK, I believe it's critical for the long-term health of the country that the manufacturing sector strengthens and grows. To do that, I believe we must focus on developing new markets for UK goods and increasing exports of those products created right here. Domestic demand can help drive some resurgence in UK manufacturing, but it is the world's new export markets that will provide the biggest opportunity for growth. And the picture is not all bleak. Exports currently account for over a quarter of UK GDP. That's just behind France and Canada, but well ahead of the US, which is at 12%. But Germany derived nearly half of its GDP from exports last year, showing that there is much more we can do in the UK. The UK has missed opportunities in the fastest growing markets in the world, and its exports are disproportionately weighed towards the service industry. Only 3.1% of UK exports in 2016 went to China, and only 7.2% to the fastest growing emerging market countries like China, India, Indonesia, Brazil, Russia, Mexico, and Turkey. By contrast, 8% of US exports went to China, the US's third most important export market after its neighbors Canada and Mexico. The UK is the second largest exporter of services in the world, but only the 10th largest exporter of goods. While goods exports remain larger than service in absolute terms, growth in service exports significantly outpaces that of goods. Barclays projections indicate that services will represent around half of UK exports by 2026. And while that projected growth in service exports is a positive, it potentially masks a significant and widening trade deficit in UK goods exports. The UK's geographic imbalance is also apparent in its exporting performance. Services exporting is concentrated in London, for example, which delivers roughly 42% of the UK total services exports. Goods exporting, however, is better distributed, and London has only 11% of the UK total. So supporting manufacturing and export markets for those goods would address both geographic and structural challenges facing the UK. At Barclays, we are doing some detailed work at the moment to better understand how to overcome those imbalances. And we are very supportive of the focus of the government's industrial strategy in this regard. We're also directly supporting the rebalancing of the UK economy. One, through our involvement in the Northern Powerhouse. Two, the launch of our £370 million Midlands Growth Fund. And three, through the doubling of our agricultural fund to £200 million just last year. The potential for trade to transform an economy is obvious, with huge opportunities for jobs and prosperity right across the country. But any appraisal of the global landscape suggests that exporting may be about to get more difficult. In the near term, a lack of clarity on future trading arrangements and the potential for more friction in trade with the UK's closest markets may increase perceived risk around exporting, especially for medium-sized companies. And of course, the world's largest consumer economy, the United States, appears to be redrawing the rules that have governed international trade for the last 30 years. So achieving our ambitions for UK export performance in a post-Brexit world will require a major effort. Nevertheless, there are some positives for the UK as an exporting country. First, the enormous potential of the UK's medium-sized businesses. And second, the level of joined-up energy and focus of policymakers and businesses that are currently being brought to bear to drive UK export performance. There are currently 2.1 million firms in the UK which don't export at all. Now, for many of those, exporting may simply not be a viable or sensible strategy. But a recent Federation of Small Business survey found that nearly 200,000 businesses had never exported but would actively consider it. And among the UK's medium-sized firms, those with between 50 and 250 employees, 20,000 mid-sized companies don't export today. So this is a huge pool of potential. But how do we identify which of those has the potential to win in a global market? And how do we then help deliver on that potential? Because there's no doubt that the demand for UK exports is there. A recent piece of research from our corporate bank found that 64% of consumers in India, for example, were prepared to pay more for goods made in the UK. And that is because they perceive the quality from the UK as higher, with 57% and 48% in the UAE also prepared to pay more to buy British. So the markets are there for UK exports. In emerging markets, consumers will pay a premium for them. Our best exporters can compete globally, but we shouldn't ignore the wider population of businesses which could also excel with the right support. So getting a greater number of medium-sized businesses across the range of areas comfortable with exporting will help the UK match fit for post-Brexit success. Banks, trade associations, and government bodies can help. To give you an example, Barclays has a strategic partnership with the government to help deliver export support and advice to UK companies. And that partnership is working. And one of the most valuable parts of it has been trade events, which we've held, which have now reached over 1,000 potential and current exporters. The second reason why I'm optimistic about the future is that there is now a concerted effort from government and business to drive significant improvement in export performance. In particular, we need to make sure that there is support and advice available to businesses who may be thinking about exporting. The barrier to them doing so may often simply be that they have no idea how to go about it, nor where they might learn. So we are committed to playing our part in providing the education and support businesses need. We currently support around 9,000 exporters each quarter. We have a team of excellent trade and working capital specialists to help our exporting clients, some of them here. We have backed the development of the Department for International Trade's data sharing platform, which is trying to match potential exporters to opportunities. And we have committed to sign up new users to that scheme. We're also very supportive of the UK Export Finance Bank Delegation Scheme. This improves access to short-term trade financing products with the objective of helping 1,000 new clients through this program by 2020. But we are keen to do more. And I see this partnership with King's College Business School as an important part of fulfilling that ambition. We want to work with a range of partners to really understand the exporting challenge and to come up with practical solutions. This will culminate in a research report to be published this summer, focused on how we can all play our part to get UK businesses exporting more. And more immediately, to overcome the information and confidence gap for those potential exporters who have yet to take the first step. We are embarking on a new program to train all of our corporate relation directors so that they are ready to identify and advise potential exporters. So this is a moment of unusual political, policy, and business focus on exporting, and therefore a moment of opportunity. I believe we should take full advantage of it. So to summarize, as a country we are doing well, but we can do even better. We excel in services, but we have to do more on goods. We are strong in London and the Southeast, but have to be much stronger in other regions. We have world-class large exporters, but we need to tap into the export potential of our SMEs. And there's no doubt that the quickest route to that goal is to support the many thousands of those businesses who are not currently exporting, particularly in manufacturing. Barclays, of course, has a vested interest in helping to make this happen. We're demonstrating our commitment to this agenda today with dedicated regional and sectoral growth funds, with skills programs, and specialist support for our clients, all to help more businesses in the UK export more goods and services to more places. As I meet businesses around the country, whatever they have, whatever view they have of Brexit, I get a real sense of determination and focus about the future. And it's why I believe this is a great time to bring people together to work on some of the long-standing challenges facing the UK economy. So I'm excited about this partnership and this work, and I look forward to seeing the next steps in helping to implement some of the ideas that we come up with. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Jes, for it was a fascinating talk. I'll just kick off with a couple of questions and then we'll open out to the floor. You mentioned Brexit, albeit very briefly, and you mentioned you've been speaking to other people about Brexit. As the CEO of a large diversified bank based in the UK, it'd be interesting to know what you think about Brexit, what's on your mind, what troubles you about it, where do you think the prospects are, etc., etc.
First, on Barclays itself, we just had to, in 2016, set up a new bank subsidiary to operate our business in the United States. Then just this last weekend, we had to set up the largest de novo bank in the history of the United Kingdom, our ring-fence bank. Those were two incredibly challenging initiatives of the bank. Now what we're going to have to do is enhance one of our European bank subsidiaries to deal with Brexit. But it's going to be much less of a lift than it was what we had to do in the UK and the US. So for Barclays itself, I don't overly worry about Brexit's impact on the bank, save for the potential impact on the UK economy. I think there is reason to believe that for some period of time, the GDP of the UK will probably grow at a slower rate than it might otherwise have grown, save for Brexit. But it's going to be incremental, and so it won't make the headlines. And then ultimately the question is, down the road, 10, 15, 20 years from now, with the power center in the UK and in London for the British economy, will that then become a competitive advantage? And I think the jury's open, and I could see both sides of that. But for the next couple of years, Brexit is going to bring a degree of uncertainty to the UK economy that I think all of us collectively, businesses, academic institutions, governments, and corporations, need to do what we can to try to diminish the uncertainty that the UK is going to face. I also think, as sort of I alluded to, that there's a new factor in the equation around Brexit. And that is what is going on with the trade policy in the US. And that also, to go full circle, impacts Barclays. In some ways bigger than Brexit, it was the decision of the US government to drop our tax rates down to 20%. 40% of Barclays' earnings now come from the United States, and we just went from being one of the highest tax jurisdictions to one of the lowest. There's clearly a pullback in terms of the regulatory intensity facing the banking industry in the US, and we feel that as well. So not only does the UK have to keep an eye on what's going on in Brussels and how we negotiate Brexit with the European Union, we've got to keep an eye on a very dynamic and changing situation in the United States.
Okay. And final question from me. We've been told constantly that economic trade winds have been blowing towards Asia and the East for some time now. What implications does that have for a country like the UK and Europe more generally?
Well, obviously, as I mentioned, we think that products from Great Britain receive a very warm reception in the emerging markets. And we've done our own research on that, and that should be an encouragement. But as the data shows also, the UK does need, I think, to put more emphasis on exporting to the emerging markets like China, like Brazil, like India. And we think that is an opportunity to further promote the manufacturing sector across the UK. I do think that one thing that's going to be important as you look towards the emerging markets and to Asia, ultimately will be how the world deals with technology. Because another, I think, key strength of the United Kingdom is its academic institutions, which I think are leading to new advances in technology and the ability of the ownership of the intellectual property around that technology being preserved in the emerging markets. And you see some of those issues today. So the UK should use all of its resources to extend its economy as broadly as we can around the world, and clearly that's going to include the emerging economies like China and India.
Okay, thank you.
Martin Wheel from King's College. In my previous job, I was visiting businesses up and down the country, and I would quite often go to rather small manufacturing firms which made very much niche products, and no, they may not have employed many people, but they'd say we produce 10% of the world market, or we produce 15% of the market for what we do. Would you say that if Britain's exports are to expand, and it was Mr. Macmillan who said exporting is fun, if they are to expand, should one go down the niche product route, finding more niches, or should we be looking more for bulk products that might sell to a wide range of consumers?
One country I think we could take a page from it is Germany. Almost half of their GDP comes from exports. And what really drives their export base are the small and medium-sized businesses, like you just described, that export their niche manufactured products outside of Germany. And that's probably one of the key markets in the UK where we are underperforming. The very large UK corporations can export as competitively as anybody, but are we really working with the middle-sized company up and down this country that has a niche product, that has very high quality, and are they exporting? I was recently up in Yorkshire and visited one of those small companies that does window frames. And getting a company like that to begin to export their window frames is, I think, part of the whole initiative that will help the UK economy grow beyond the physical boundaries of this country.
John Deverell Associates. Mr. Staley, what I'd like to do, please, is to invite you to turn the telescope round. One of the aspects of my work is to work in post-conflict countries where I seek to increase the stability and prosperity of those countries by helping them to grow their indigenous capability for business. And obviously it's very difficult, and people tend to concentrate much more on stability and security, but I'm saying at the same time we have also to look in parallel at prosperity, because it brings stability. So my question is, in places where there are local banks who know their customers very well, but there's a real difficulty for them to get collateral because of the state of their clients, have you looked at all at pairing with local banks and essentially offering to be lenders of last resort in order to enable them to grow their businesses, which in turn could then import more from this country?
Barclays is a global institution. I would say in the restructuring that we went through over the last couple of years, we have reduced our footprint in the emerging markets. That was one of the necessities we saw as a management team to get the bank in the right capital position and in the right regulatory position. I do think to do what you're asking, one of the things that a bank like Barclays has got to consider is the posture of the governments where we are most active. Because we have, as a bank today, are not only responsible for our conduct, as we should be, but we're also now fully responsible for the conduct of our clients, as we should be. And that makes it at times very challenging to work in the sort of markets that you're talking about. I'm sure that's not the intent of regulation and governments, but for instance, how we deal in places like the Middle East is very challenging given the different political objectives of countries that we are very invested in, like the US. So we have a role to play in global finance, and I agree with you that finance in many ways is the oxygen to allow these economies to restabilize themselves. But it is a tricky environment today, in part, given some of the regulatory issues that a bank like Barclays faces.
Lambert from the National Audit Office. I'd like to follow up on a previous question and invite you to go into just a little bit more detail about the comparison you made to Germany and mid-sized companies. You mentioned in your talk some of the barriers you can see in the UK, for example, some companies not even knowing how to start. What has Germany done right to get their mid-sized companies in a position to be better?
That's, I hope, would be one of the great assignments of this project with King's College, to figure that out. I do think, obviously, there are some macro issues which have helped Germany, the euro, that one has to take into consideration, but I think it'd be a healthy lesson for us to learn if there are particular programs by banks and by governments that have allowed that mid-sized corporate exporting engine that really drives Germany.
Sam Lowe, a research fellow at the Centre for European Reform. So the UK is largely an intermediary producer, so it imports to exports and it's embedded within pan-European supply chains, and Brexit is going to add friction to these supply chains. How do you see companies reacting to that? Do you see them repatriating supply chains to within the EU 27, or perhaps moving more of their production to within the UK so as to account for future issues such as rules of origin and the like?
When Brexit first happened, and as evidenced by what happened to the stock price of Barclays, people were really focused on the financial industry in London in particular. As we've been living through this Brexit dialogue, I think it's issues like you just raised that are actually more of a challenge than what the City of London might face. And then you think of a country like Ireland, where 80% of what Ireland exports to Europe crosses the UK. And so how do you deal with the customs issues, both coming in and then leaving the UK for 80% of Ireland's export products? I think the whole custom union issue is going to be a huge challenge. And how you deal with this supply chain issue in the automobile industry, in the aviation industry, those may be some of the real key challenges in the negotiations with the European Union. I just have to believe at the end of the day, disrupting those supply chains will be just politically infeasible. But as a bank, that's the sort of issue that we are more focused on than what may be happening with the financial industry. Because it's critical for the UK economy, it's critical for major corporations across Europe as well. I mean, UK and Europe are so integrated as a business matter. We all have to be very careful as we play with the levers of that integration, and supply chain issues are paramount, I think.
Hello, Trade and Working Capital at Barclays. You spoke about lack of clarity over Brexit, and we all are completely aware that, the deadline is looming and there is no clear path. However, is there more that businesses can do to, say, plan for the worst and hope for the best? And in your view, is there more that Barclays can actually do for businesses and the like out there?
Well, the first thing for Barclays to do is to stay open for business and to continue to support the UK and to continue to support British businesses. We are planning for a hard Brexit. We have filed an application with the Irish government to extend the scale and depth of our bank subsidiary in Ireland, in Dublin. In fact, I'm going to Dublin next week as part of this initiative. We will add some capabilities in Dublin, and then what we will do is we have branches all across Europe. We have actually about 1,200 Barclays employees in Frankfurt, in Milan, in Paris, dealing with British companies dealing in Europe and European companies wanting to deal in the UK. Those are branches of our British bank. What we will do is we will relicense those branches as branches of the Irish bank and effectively move 1,200 people from a British bank to a European bank almost overnight. That structure will allow us to continue to do almost everything that we're doing today with our European clients and for our UK clients in Europe. But the other thing, which is which is very important, both for our British clients as well as the European clients, is we believe London will remain as the second largest financial center for capital markets. And as I gave a discussion the other day at Westminster, one of the changes that has come about because of the financial crisis is global economies are relying less on bank balance sheets to fund themselves and relying more on the capital markets, where a company issues a bond, which is underwritten by an investment bank and placed with an insurance company, a pension fund, a mutual fund, what have you. The amount of bank balance sheet in Europe and the United States from 2006 to 2016 funding corporations is down by 9%. The amount of capital markets funding for corporations across Europe and the United States for the same 10-year period is up 78%. We are one of the largest underwriters of capital markets debt for European companies, for European countries, in terms of sovereigns. And obviously, we are the largest in the UK for British firms. So keeping the capital markets functioning, providing financing for European companies, European countries, and UK companies is a critical role for Barclays over the next, as we work ourselves through Brexit. But we on the Sunday after the Brexit vote, the management committee of Barclays spent 4 hours together thinking about the contingencies that we had to contemplate to make sure we were ready for whatever the outcome of Brexit was, because we have to stay open for business.
Hi, it's Martin McTague from the Federation of Small Businesses. We represent the 200,000 small businesses that you're keen to exploit new and emerging markets. Is it realistic to expect a small business that's currently exporting to Europe to switch to Brazil as a realistic alternative?
I don't know all the details about every sector in places like Brazil. If countries are putting up barriers to trade, in our view, that's not healthy for the global economy, and ultimately the people paying the dearest price are the Brazilians who don't get access to the high quality products that are made here. And for sure, your 200,000 companies are going to follow the path of least resistance if they are going to direct their capabilities towards exports. That's why if what we're seeing happening right now between the United States and China, for instance, if that gains momentum, that's going to be disconcerting for all of us. But obviously, a barrier in a place like Brazil is not healthy for Brazil nor for your 200,000 companies.
Martin Arnold, Financial Times. Hi, Jes.
Hey, Martin.
Can I ask you to clarify a bit more on Brexit and this? You mentioned Donald Trump's tax policy and also his softening of financial regulations and how that plays into Brexit. Are you saying that the UK government needs to take action on tax and financial regulation to make sure the UK remains competitive? I just wanted to clarify that. And is that something you're calling for? Or are you just saying we need to be conscious of the UK versus the US in terms of our competitiveness as an economy?
The latter. I'm not calling for any tax policy or whatnot. That's not for me to do. That's for the British government to do. All I'm saying is I think we need to be mindful in the UK of what is happening in the US. And for sure, as I've heard a number of leaders in the UK talk about, the UK always needs to think about remaining competitive across all industries and across as many regions as they can. And there is a new dynamic in the United States that we need to be mindful of. But I'm not making any specific recommendation, Mark, with respect to tax or regulation. In fact, what I have said is I'm a banker who strongly supported or strongly supports the re-regulation of the financial industry post the financial crisis because we needed it. And I think the measures that have been taken to strengthen the capital position of British banks and the regulatory oversight have been very positive steps forward in creating a more stable and safe financial community in the UK.
Hi, Jes. James Burton from the Daily Mail. You've touched a bit on China and the US already. I mean, there's obviously a lot of tit-for-tat tariffs going on at the moment. Do you think there's a risk of a full-blown trade war in the next couple of years? And if that does happen, what do you think the upshots will be for the world economy and for the UK in particular?
I would really hope not, that there not be a trade war. And I, being an optimist, have to believe that the powers that be will recognize the importance of having a global economy which is integrated. The amount of trade that goes on around the world has grown at an extraordinary rate post-World War II. And I think that integration has led to economic prosperity around the world, but also political stability around the world. And I would hope that we understand how trade is one of the anchors to political stability. And so the jousting, if you will, between the U.S. and China will remain a side issue and not expand beyond what we're currently seeing.
Good morning, Jes. Charlotte Chase, European Policy Forum. How do you foresee financial technology helping UK exports? Is there something that Barclays can be doing to promote the use of financial technology in the UK? And how can the UK best regulate to promote the use of financial technology in a responsible way?
That's a great question. We were actually about a year ago, we were the first bank in the UK to use blockchain technology to process milk exports to Seychelles. Quite a process, which normally the paperwork going back and forth with Seychelles would take an incredibly long period of time, and I think the timing of getting the paperwork done for a single export was about 2 weeks. And using the blockchain technology, we took it down to about 2 days. But financial technology is a reality. It's changing the banking industry. It's going to change the payments industry. It's going to change the foreign exchange industry, which is obviously very connected to trade. We have open banking now in the UK, which is going to create all sorts of new opportunities and challenges for the financial industry. But we think that technology ultimately is an incredibly valuable and customer-enhancing revolution in banking. You know, we have now some 10 million consumers in the UK that bank with us on this. The average customer walks into a bank branch once every 7 weeks. The average customer that uses this phone to bank with Barclays hits the Barclays app every day. So think of the customer engagement that grows when they're using this app as opposed to using a branch. The speed with which we can get a mortgage application done now because of new technologies that we are using is quite remarkable. The challenge that it brings to us is very much anchored in data security. We launched a campaign last year called DigiSafe. We ran commercials across the United Kingdom trying to educate our customers on how to protect their data. And we had to do our part as a bank to make sure that we are secure as a cybersecurity matter. But also, as I say, we work collaboratively so our clients are safer. You know, I was just actually yesterday just talking with Ashok Vaswani, who runs Barclays UK and is our main UK retail bank. One of the things that's happening in our business, as we get more and more financial data, our ability to lend safely to customers is going up a lot. Because we know their economic footprint, we know how their economic health, and we only want to make loans to consumers who have the wherewithal to pay those loans back. And so, because we have ever increasing amounts of data, the impairment of loans, like loans going bad, from our UK consumers is going down quite dramatically. What's going up is fraud. And so we need to, so the data is helping in terms of we making smarter credit decisions. The increase of data is increasing the opportunities for criminals to commit fraud. And so we need to equally invest now in understanding fraud as we used to invest in understanding credit risk.
Hi, good morning. My name is Pasquale Capuano and I represent Iguzzini. A lot of the turnover that my group globally sells is designed in London. And the reason is the best skilled architects and lighting designers, they've been coming to London traditionally for the last decades because it was a cool place to be. There was a lot of business, and everyone had to be in London. Now, after Brexit, these skilled people might be tempted to go to Frankfurt or Paris or Milan or somewhere, or Rome. So, as a UK business, my fear is that some of the business will go away just because these people, the best designers, will go somewhere else. So I will not be able to pay the commissions to my UK sales engineers that at the moment I pay. So what do you think us as a society, so a bank like yours and the government, should do to keep these skilled people coming to London?
So I've said this a couple of times. I think one of the UK's great strengths is its ability to bring together a critical mass of talent, whether it's designing talent, whether it's financial talent, whether it's technology talent. I made the comment that I thought one of the most important economic moves post the Brexit vote was when Google announced 3 months after the Brexit vote that they were going to put, I think it was 8,000 or 7,000 engineers in the city of London. With the great universities that you have in the UK, I believe the UK will remain a magnet for intellectual talent. And that is important for us as a bank and for you as a design company. It's not, one side wins, one side loses. And obviously there's an enormous economy in the European Union driven by incredible amount of business talent. And I just hope that going back to this trade war, we don't find people putting up barriers. I just think that would be a reversal of a global economic policy which has served the world very well since World War II. So I hope that there's not an impediment for you bringing great engineers to London any more than an impediment for us bringing great technologists to work at Barclays in London. And that we all see the benefit that has for us collectively. But I don't think at the end of the day the political body are going to put up walls, and that's what Barclays is working towards.
I'm Tiffany Sikadufi and I'm a student here at King's College London. So my question is in regards to SMEs and how we can encourage individuals to get into positions of that, gaining their own businesses, gaining momentum. How do we encourage individuals to get into positions where they can have SMEs and then scale them and grow them into global businesses?
We actually help 25,000 small businesses get created every quarter. In Cambridge, for instance, we've taken this, the second floor of a building that houses one of our branches, and we've opened it up for Fintech companies being started by students at Cambridge, where they get free computational power, free telecommunications. I think we even get beer on Friday nights, and that's a way to try to provide a framework for an entrepreneur to create a new business. The other day, I was in one of the main WeWorks facilities in London. This is I think an 8-story building that's got nothing but entrepreneurs in it. We actually took a space in the WeWorks, and we have 8 corporate bankers that work full-time in that building, basically walking the halls trying to provide Barclays services to startup companies. And one of them, I had lunch with I think like 9 or 10 of the entrepreneurs that we've helped, and one was a microbrewer here in London, one was a fintech company, and literally we're meeting them in the hallways and providing Barclays services. So that's how we contribute to economic growth. We have done studies. We find that in the UK, starting a company happens with a relatively high frequency. Scaling startup companies to become mid-sized companies is where we suffer as an economy. And we funded some research work as to why are we good at startups but not great at scale-ups. Is there a way that more investment to the venture capital side? That Midlands fund, growth fund, that is dealing with a lot of scale-up issues for companies. The more we can do for the SME population, the better for the UK and the better for Barclays.
Well, on that note, if we can thank Jes in the usual way.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you.